space cabinet pantries and cabinet accessories at a massive 50% off. Yes, half price. Check out the storeroom upstairs, Caribbean Glass, Kingstown. Mix and match your cabinets and suit your kitchen. I tell you, the news sweet. The sale begins January 20th until stocks last. You still standing there? Don't say I didn't tell you.
99.9 WEFM. WhatsApp us or call us at 457-9997. Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
All right, so we are back with you for another commentary segment on today's Activated Mornings program. And before we continue, let me just big up Alston and his wife. What's his wife's name? Abiola. Yes, please. I'm a dancehall queen. All right, so big up you guys. Big up you. All right, so again, we hope that everybody is having a good morning so far, or at least we're trying to help you have a good morning, all right? So hopefully we are succeeding, or at least doing something, all right? Doing something, all right. Let's head on to a topic at this time. And so not indirectly Trump related, but we ain't calling Trump name, all right? So
not saying Trump at all.
We're not saying Trump this morning, or somebody told me yesterday, we need to say President Donald Trump, all right? True. We have to give the man his due respect. Respect it, all right? Respect it. All right, so DeSantis is proposing proof of status for remittance transfers, all right? So what is this about, you may ask? So reading from St. Vincent Times, and I did double check some other sites just to confirm everything is anyway, let me leave that. All right, so Florida governor proposes proof of status for transfer of remittances. So the governor of Florida aims to utilize remittances in an effort to combat illegal immigration in the United States. Ron DeSantis intends to mandate that those transferring funds abroad provide evidence of their legal immigration status. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Individuals will migrate unlawfully due to the opportunity to engage in low-skilled labor that yields significantly higher wages in the U.S. compared to those in developing nations. They will arrive, generate income, and subsequently remit funds to their family, friends, and other recipients in their native country, he observed. The Governor General announced, we will implement ID verification for foreign remittances akin to an e-verify process. The money transfer company must conduct this verification to ensure that they are legally permitted to reside in the country and to remit funds abroad. Mm-hmm. Just had to leave that, let it soak in, all right? So in 2023, the article from St. Vincent Times stated that remittances to St. Vincent and the Grenadines amounted to $71.4 million. All right, so reading here from the Interdevelopment Bank, and this was remittances to Latin America and Caribbean moderate growth for 2024. This was published on November 28, 2024. So they were saying that Latin America and the Caribbean will reach a historic high in 2024. It did, despite growing to their slowest pace in 10 years, returning to levels of increase prior to the exceptional growth that occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic. All right, so they said if this trending continues, the region will receive $161 billion in remittances in 2024, a 5% increase compared to 2023. Now, one of the things that they note is that remittances, when money is sent back home to family members, it is usually to aid in things such as daily food, housing, transportation expenses. Second common reason is for medical expenses, and others could be for educational purposes, for savings, business, and real estate. So,
Governor say, I'm gonna catch you. To be honest, if you're looking at it from their vantage point, it's a smart move.
How so?
To help them to catch the they want to get rid of the undocumented people, and if you look, from their end, it's a smart move. It's a smart way to get them, because that's a significant thing. So that's one way to sort of weed them out. It's really unfortunate for the Caribbean, obviously, because of the amount of money that would come in, the amount of things that it's part of our revenue, and America is there's one state. I don't doubt that other states would come online, but what can you say more than it really is unfortunate. That's a good bit of money that is just going to not be coming. Obviously, not everybody who sends remittances are undocumented, but some of them are. So that portion may just be gone.
Yeah, and I think what it does, it speaks to the fact that so we do know that our economies depend a lot on remittances, all right? And persons leave the shores of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to make a better life for themselves and their family overseas. I think even sometimes to the point where persons overseas, they sacrifice so much in order to ensure that their family members are good, right? Yeah. You have parents who might be leaving St. Vincent and the Grenadines to make better lives for the children, especially educationally, So we always look at that whole situation where families become disjointed in a sense, or they're not as together because of the fact that parents are leaving for a better life for their children. And if you now have something that is put in place such as this, what is it going to the economy of SVG, right? We recognize that persons who work here and persons who generate income, or their means of livelihood is generated from income here, that it could only do so much, right? Many times we look forward to getting money as gifts from family members so that we can do the extra. We can go extra. If we need to change your roof, if we need to buy furniture, even if we're building a house, sometimes family members will help to chip in. So what would this mean for, let's say, even our local businesses who are also tapping into that extra money that they receive from persons who receive money remittances, right? We notice that month end are periodic times within the year that the lines at money remitting agencies are long. All right. So that only shows how much some persons are dependent, to be very honest. Some persons are dependent, but there are some other persons who are reliant on this extra money coming in to help them to take them through whatever it is that they have to do financially. So it would be interesting to see what happens if this is put into effect, and if other states are going to follow on. All right. Hi, caller. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
That policy has been in place in Bermuda for many years. For example, in my case, both Western Union and MoneyGram have blocked me. I can no longer send money through them to St. Vincent. I've been blocked. And there's no guarantee as to when that is going to be lifted. So that is nothing new.
But what's your reason for being blocked, if you don't mind me asking? Because you could be blocked for several reasons, but because you are, why?
Too much activity, with money laundering and so on going around.
Oh, you were sending too much?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Now, I'm not wealthy. Please, nobody get the impression that I'm wealthy.
Okay,
but,
right. That's the thing. So there's a difference. You were being blocked because you were a frequent sender, but not necessarily because you are illegal or undocumented.
No.
Right.
Anybody at all sending any funds out of Bermuda through these two things, they must present. As a matter of fact, you have to have an account. And you have to present a valid ID, either passport or driver's license or something. So it's not. And I am here legally. I have no problem with that. But there's an old saying. Nowadays, people don't defend what is right. They defend who they like and who they could benefit from. And I would end with my little story. We have a police officer here in Bermuda, Vincentian police officer. And I'd call her by name because Kingsley mentioned ethics this morning. I called this lady one day and I said, listen, and I'm going to call her name. I said, Carol, I have some black cake for you. She said, okay, I'm on duty today. So I left home, especially to take the black cake to this lady. The traffic was clear. I went through one stop sign, a second stop sign, and then I saw this police officer waving me, like indicating for me to pull over. I did not recognize the person at first. So she walked up and she said, "Good morning, sir. Are you aware that you ran 2 stop signs?" I said, "Yes, but there's no traffic." She repeated, "Are you aware that you ran 2 stop signs? Why do you think the signs are there?" So I said, "Well, there was no traffic." She said, "Listen, I'll give you a caution. Just don't let it happen again." In my mind, I'm saying, by then I recognized her. I said, "I can't believe it. I left home especially to bring something for this woman, and she wants to give me a ticket." So as I was about to drive off in frustration, she tapped on the car and she asked, "So where is my black cake?"
As she should. You left home with a particular reason. You still have to fulfill the reason. I ain't wrong, huh?
No, her name is Carol Kwashi Skerrit. She is a credit to St. Vincent, and she's not very well liked here because she don't put up with no nonsense regardless of who you are. She will ticket you without fear or favor. So that's why I quoted that about people, liking people. We don't like the people who do things that are right. We like the people who defend us and the people who we would benefit from. And I really love the presentation by the Council. Is it the Council General yesterday?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like that presentation. And he basically is cautioning anybody out there who is, if you have your legal documents, walk with it, right? Make sure you have it on you. Don't tell the officer, "Well, I have it, but it's at home." Have it on you. And there's nothing to fear but fear itself. So stay in your lane, do the right thing, and you have nothing to fear. And credit to the Royal St. Vincent Police Force. The Bermuda Police Service is benefiting from the training that Carol Skerrit Kwashi got, because she don't put up with no nonsense at all.
All right. Thanks, Joshua. You too. Thanks. All right. So we recognize that someone was trying to call a while ago, so you can call at this time. All right. Collecting money, I think you do need to show 2 pieces of ID anyway, so that would be the reason for thing. But there are different reasons why persons are blocked from the system. So yeah. All right. Yeah, so it does pose serious economic implications for us here in the Caribbean, and it's just for us to wait and see what happens. But many businesses can potentially suffer as a result of a measure like this being put in place. And I know that, like said in Mexico and so forth, those persons would probably just send back almost all of their money. I'm not sure for us, for our Vincentians, how many of them, what percentage of their earnings that they would send home. But we do know that it's a significant amount, right? So it's just for us to wait and see. And, these are the things that we were talking about, the trickle-down effect of certain measures that are being put in place by the Trump administration. These are the things that we are going to see. And, several spill-off effects are going to happen in their quest to maybe just make America for Americans. I even sure make it great again, but to make America for Americans. All right. So, all right. Any final thoughts?
I just hope the rest of the world is looking on and paying attention very closely. And I hope that the governments of the world will do what they need to do, especially those in Africa. But
what do you mean?
And you said America is for Americans, but a lot of what they get, their things, it's too much of a discussion to go into, right? But let's just hope that Africa would take some measures as well, because America gets a lot of the things from Africa anyway. That's another discussion for another time. But right, I was gonna say, a lot of persons are gonna have to find some other source of that particular income. So if you were receiving remittances before and that was a significant part of your spending, that means that if they are going to be affected now, they're gonna have to find some other source of getting that.
And that's the thing, by using another source of trying to find another means. Let's say you're using a courier, you yourself are going to be walking with large sums of money. There's also some implications with that, because I think you cannot travel with more than 10,000 of, I think it's the currency of the well, no, I know for us it's 10,000 EC, but I'm not sure for the other countries, right? They probably would have their own limits, but you also have to be very careful with that because, you know, you'd have to show your source of funds if it exceeds that and all that sort of stuff, you know? So yeah, folks, interesting times. Maybe this is the end of times that was supposed to be in the Bible. We just seeing it in different ways. All right. Who knows? Who knows? All right. So we are going to head on out at this time, and then we'll be back with more commentary on today's Activated Mornings program here on WEFM.
It